Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're diving deep into one of the most eye-catching pieces in the state quarter program, the Kentucky State Quarter from the year 2001. This beautiful coin is not only rich in history and design, but it also carries a hidden potential for incredible value. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal how much this coin could be worth if you're lucky enough to have the right one in your collection. Let's start with a little background. The Kentucky State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state quarter was designed to represent the unique culture, heritage, and pride of its state, making them instantly popular with both new collectors and seasoned numismatists. When Kentucky's turn came, the design did not disappoint. On the reverse of this quarter, you'll see a striking scene: the famous Federal Hill Mansion, also known as My Old Kentucky Home, along with a thoroughbred racehorse behind a fence. These two images symbolize two things Kentucky is most famous for: its rich history and its world-renowned horse racing tradition. And of course, at the top, proudly displayed, is the state nickname, My Old Kentucky Home. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which appears on all state quarters. Now, at first glance, this coin might look like any other quarter you've seen in circulation. After all, millions of these coins were minted in 2001, and they were used daily for small purchases all across the United States. But here's where things get interesting. While most of these quarters are still only worth face value, some rare varieties and error coins can fetch thousands upon thousands of dollars. So, what makes the Kentucky State Quarter so valuable to collectors? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and error varieties. Let's talk about condition first. Coins that were never used in circulation, known as uncirculated or mint state coins, are much harder to find today. Most quarters from 2001 were tossed in pockets, purses, and cash registers, leaving behind scratches, dings, and heavy wear. But if you happen to have a Kentucky quarter that looks flawless, shiny, and crisp, its value immediately jumps compared to one that's been in circulation for over 2 decades. But condition is only part of the story. The real treasures are error coins. Error quarters are the result of mistakes that happen during the minting process, and collectors go absolutely wild for them. With the Kentucky State Quarter, there are several types of errors you should look out for. For example, some coins were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and making them instantly unique. Others have double die errors, where the text or images look doubled or blurry because the coin was struck improperly. You may even find coins struck on the wrong planchet, where a quarter design was accidentally pressed onto a blank mint for another denomination. These mistakes might sound small, but to collectors, they are golden opportunities. The scarcer and more dramatic the error, the higher the price climbs. And when you combine an error coin with mint condition preservation, you're looking at a true numismatic gem that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own. So, how much can the Kentucky State Quarter from 2001 be worth? Well, if you've got a regular worn-down coin, it might only be worth 25 cents. But if you happen to have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, you could be holding a coin valued at $86,000. Yes, you heard that right. $86,000 for a single state quarter. Just imagine finding one of these hidden treasures in your coin jar, tucked away in an old drawer, or passed down from a family member who collected coins. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when a small piece of metal could reveal a massive fortune. So next time you come across a Kentucky State Quarter from 2001, don't overlook it. Take a close look at the details, check for errors, and examine its condition carefully. Who knows? You might be holding on to one of the most valuable quarters in the entire state quarter series. Top 2, we're traveling back to the very beginning of the legendary 50 State Quarters program with one of the earliest releases, the Pennsylvania State Quarter from 1999. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter, but under the right conditions and with the right features, this coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal the jaw-dropping value this coin has reached in rare cases. Let's start with a bit of history. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, one of the most popular coin series ever produced. Pennsylvania, as the second state to join the Union, had the honor of being the second coin released in this historic series. The program was designed to celebrate the uniqueness of each state, and the Pennsylvania quarter carried a design rich with symbolism. On the reverse, you'll see a statue-like outline of the Commonwealth statue, which stands proudly atop the Pennsylvania state capitol. Alongside it is a keystone, the symbol of Pennsylvania, known as the Keystone State, representing strength and central importance. There's also the state outline, making this design both bold and instantly recognizable. Of course, the obverse side carries the timeless portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, a detail familiar to anyone who has handled U.S. quarters. But what makes this 1999 Pennsylvania quarter so fascinating is not just its design, but its collectability. Millions upon millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation. For most people, it was just pocket change, but for collectors, the key lies in condition and minting errors. Coins that have been heavily circulated usually carry scratches, discoloration, and dents, which makes them worth little more than face value. But uncirculated coins, the ones that have been carefully preserved in pristine condition since they were minted, are already highly desirable. Collectors are willing to pay premiums for perfect examples because they represent a snapshot of American history frozen in time. Now, let's talk about the real treasures, error coins. The Pennsylvania state quarter has been known to appear with several types of minting errors that make them incredibly rare and valuable. Some coins were struck off-center, leaving parts of the design cut off. Others display double-die errors, where the lettering or design looks blurred or doubled due to a misaligned strike. And in some rare cases, quarters were struck on the wrong type of blank planchet, like a nickel or even a foreign coin blank, creating unique mistakes that collectors absolutely love. These error coins are one of a kind, and because they're so scarce, collectors compete fiercely to add them to their collections. When you combine rarity with high-grade condition, the value of a Pennsylvania state quarter can climb from just a few cents to thousands of dollars. And now for the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. While an ordinary Pennsylvania state quarter from 1999 may only buy you a stick of gum, the rarest versions, those in mint state condition or struck with dramatic errors, have been valued as high as $83,000. Yes, you heard that right. $83,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine. What looks like an ordinary piece of change in your hand could secretly be worth more than a brand new car, or even a down payment on a house. That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary objects hiding extraordinary value. So, next time you come across a Pennsylvania quarter from 1999, don't let it slip by. Take a close look, check for sharp details, and search carefully for errors. Who knows? You could be holding a true fortune in the palm of your hand. Top 3, we're taking a close look at one of the most striking coins from the state quarter program, the Washington State Quarter from 2007. At first glance, it looks like a simple quarter you could spend on a gumball, but under the right conditions, this coin has shocked collectors with its incredible value. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth. Let's start with a little history. The Washington State Quarter was released in 2007 as part of the U.S. Mint's highly successful 50-state quarters program. This program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, became one of the most popular coin series ever, sparking millions of people to start collecting coins for the very first time. Washington, being the 42nd state to join the Union, had its quarter released in the later years of the program. Now let's talk about the design, because this is what immediately makes the Washington quarter stand out. On the reverse, you'll see a powerful image of a salmon leaping across rushing water, with the towering profile of Mount Rainier in the background. This design perfectly captures the spirit of Washington, wild, rugged, and full of natural beauty. It honors both the natural landscape and the state's famous salmon, which are vital to Washington's culture and history. The obverse, as always, features the portrait of George Washington, a familiar sight on quarters since 1932, but beyond the beauty of the design lies something even more fascinating. the rarity and errors that make some of these coins so valuable. You see, millions of Washington quarters were minted in 2007, and most of them are still only worth 25 cents. But a very small number stand out from the crowd, and those are the ones collectors are chasing. Condition plays a huge role here. Coins that went straight from the mint into storage without ever being spent are known as uncirculated or mint state coins. These coins, with their sharp details and original shine, are far more desirable than those that have been passed around in pockets and registers for years. But the true treasures are the error coins. During minting, mistakes can happen, and those mistakes turn ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. With the Washington quarter, collectors have discovered dramatic errors such as double die strikes, where parts of the design or lettering appear doubled. There are also off-center strikes, where the image is shifted noticeably, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet, where a quarter design might accidentally end up on a blank intended for a dime or a foreign coin. These rare mishaps create one-of-a-kind coins, and collectors pay top dollar to add them to their collections. And here's where things get exciting. While most Washington state quarters from 2007 won't bring in more than their face value, the rarest examples, those in flawless mint condition or with dramatic error varieties, have reached astonishing prices. So now for the big reveal. If you're lucky enough to have one of these special Washington state quarters from 2007, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. $80,000 for a single state quarter. Just imagine, something that looks like everyday pocket change could secretly be worth more than a luxury car, or even cover the cost of college tuition. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the adventure of searching, the mystery of discovering, and the possibility of striking gold with something so small that the next time you come across a Washington state quarter from 2007, don't just toss it aside. Check its condition, study the details, and look closely for errors. You might be holding one of the most valuable quarters ever produced in the state quarter program. Top 4, we're shining the spotlight on a true beauty from the state quarter program, the North Dakota state quarter from 2006. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter you might find in your change, but certain versions of this coin can be worth far, far more. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth in the world of collectors. Let's start with some background. The North Dakota state quarter was released in 2006 as part of the 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program became one of the most popular collecting movements in U.S. history, introducing millions of people to the hobby of coin collecting. North Dakota, the 39th state admitted to the Union, had the honor of showcasing its history, culture, and natural beauty through its coin design. The design of this quarter is truly remarkable. On the reverse side, you'll find 2 American bison grazing on the open plains, with rugged buttes in the background. This image captures the essence of North Dakota: wide, open spaces and the power of its wildlife. The American bison is more than just a symbol of the Great Plains. It represents strength, resilience, and the spirit of the frontier. The obverse side, of course, carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, which has appeared on quarters for decades. But as with any collectible coin, the real intrigue lies in rarity and condition. Millions of North Dakota quarters were produced in 2006, and most of them went straight into circulation. Over time, they became scratched, dented, and worn down from everyday use. Those coins, while fun to keep, usually aren't worth more than 25 cents. But the story changes when we talk about coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins have survived the years without ever being used, retaining their full shine and sharp details. Collectors place a high premium on such coins, and the better the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Now, here's where things get even more exciting: minting errors. The North Dakota state quarter is known to have several error varieties that make it especially attractive to collectors. Some coins were struck off-center, leaving parts of the design missing. Others display doubled details, known as double die errors, where the letters or features look blurred or duplicated. There are also coins struck on the wrong type of planchet, creating unusual and rare mistakes. These errors are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike, and they make coins stand out as unique treasures in the collecting world. Because error coins are so rare, they often fetch prices far beyond ordinary examples. Combine a dramatic error with mint state condition, and you have a coin that collectors are willing to pay a small fortune for. So, how much can the North Dakota state quarter from 2006 really be worth? While the vast majority of these coins are only worth their face value, the rarest examples, those with dramatic errors or in perfect mint condition, have been valued at as much as $78,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $78,000 for a single state quarter. Just imagine, the change sitting in your pocket or a coin tucked away in an old collection could secretly be worth more than the price of a luxury car. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when you might come across a treasure hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you spot a North Dakota quarter from 2006, don't just spend it without a second thought. Look closely, check its condition, and examine it for possible errors. You might just be holding a true numismatic prize. Top 5. We're exploring one of the most unique coins from the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarter Program, the Guam Quarter, released in 2009. It might look like just another quarter at first, but trust me, some rare versions of this coin have stunned collectors with their unbelievable value. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth. Let's begin with a little background. The Guam Quarter is part of the 6-coin series released in 2009 after the famous 50-state quarters program came to an end. Instead of focusing on states, this new program honored U.S. territories, including Puerto Rico, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Northern Mariana Islands, Washington, D.C., and of course, Guam. Each of these territories has its own culture, history, and pride, and the coins were designed to celebrate their heritage. Now let's take a closer look at the design of the Guam Quarter. On the reverse side, you'll see a map of Guam with an image of a flying prow, a type of traditional outrigger canoe, and a latte stone, which is a pillar stone used as a foundation in ancient Chamorro houses. These symbols together tell a powerful story of Guam's cultural identity, resilience, and maritime traditions. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, as seen on all modern quarters. But here's where things get really interesting. While millions of Guam quarters were produced, not all of them are created equal. Most of the coins that entered circulation are still only worth their face value of 25 cents. But a small percentage stand out because of either pristine condition or striking mint errors. Let's talk about condition first. Coins that were saved straight from the mint and never circulated are called mint state or uncirculated coins. These coins retain their full shine and sharp details, and collectors are always willing to pay a premium for them. The higher the grading scale, the more valuable the coin becomes. But the real treasures are the error coins. The Guam Quarter is famous among collectors for certain errors, especially from the Denver Mint in 2009. Some coins show doubling on the text or design, known as double die errors. Others were struck off-center, leaving part of the design cut off. There are even coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. An extremely rare mistake where the design of a quarter ends up on a blank mint for a dime or even a foreign coin. These error coins are one of a kind and highly sought after, making them far more valuable than regular examples. Collectors love coins with stories, and error coins are exactly that, pieces of history that slipped through the minting process with a mistake, making them rare treasures. Combine a dramatic mint error with top-grade uncirculated condition, and you've got a coin worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. So now for the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. While ordinary Guam quarters from 2009 are worth only a quarter, the rarest examples, those with mint errors or in flawless condition, have been valued as high as $786,000. Yes, you heard that right. $786,000 for a single Guam quarter. Think about it. A coin you might overlook in your change could secretly be worth more than a house, a luxury car, or even several years of college tuition. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know when a small piece of metal could turn out to be a life-changing treasure. So the next time you come across a Guam quarter from 2009, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look, check its details carefully, and see if you might be holding one of these rare and valuable coins. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins with hidden value, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our next coin adventure. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting.